kindergartners, and welcome to our very first virtual art lesson. I'm super excited to talk to you about a couple things today, and we're gonna try to make some art today. So, on my very first art lesson with my kindergartners, I like to get our creative ideas flowing, and I like to kind of do a step-by-step drawing so that you can feel really comfortable and so that you can get excited about drawing. And my favorite thing to start with is I usually do a person, because we love to draw people. Artists love to draw people. They love to draw their families or their friends or themselves. And a lot of times artists will make artwork about the people or the things that are around them. So I really like to start by showing you a couple of ways to draw a person, because we love to draw people, and so maybe you're not sure how to start with drawing a person. I'm going to show you some easy tricks on how to get started with that. And then we're also going to talk about something else really important that artists use in their artwork a lot, and that is called the background. But before I talk about that, I'm going to talk to you about drawing a person. So let's check out my paper here. All right, so here I have my paper. And I always like to tell my artists that first I start with pencil, and the reason that I start with pencil is because I always make mistakes and I always need to erase it. It's really hard to erase if you're starting with crayon or markers, okay? So I am gonna draw what I like to call a shaped person. And I'm gonna start with some shapes that we probably already know, okay? So first I'm gonna start with a circle. Okay, so we could probably guess what part of the body that's going to be. And then I like to put two little lines coming down of my circle, and that's going to be for our neck. And my shaped person is going to be a rectangle. So I'm going to start right underneath my two lines, and I'm going to make like a rectangle or a square for my body. Okay? And then I'm going to use skinny rectangles that are going to start on my corners here, and those are going to be the arms and the legs. So check it out. I'm going to start on this corner right up here, and my rectangle is going to go out, over, and then I'm going to come back. I'm going to try that again on the other side. Out, over, and come back. Okay? The paper is caught under here. All right, and I'm gonna do the same thing down here, except for this time it's gonna go straight down, over, and back up. Okay, so these are long, skinny rectangles. So we're using shapes that we know to build a person. So we know what a circle looks like. This is almost like a tiny little rectangle, isn't it? And then we've got a bigger rectangle or square and some long, skinny rectangles. Okay, I'm gonna use an oval down here, and I bet you can guess what this is for. Feet. And then we need to add some little details. So once you have the base of your person there, then you can get super creative and you can add lots of other details. So I'm gonna add some hands here, and I'm just gonna do kind of like some bumps, I like to call them. Okay, so I'm gonna start right here on the edge of my sleeve, and I'm gonna do a bump that comes up and down. And these can be different lengths because our fingers are different lengths. We have 5. So that's why I put 5 there. All right, let's talk about the face a little bit, okay? So when you look at eyes, maybe you can look at your eyes in the mirror, or you can look at one of your family members' eyes, but our eyes are kind of like oval shapes, okay? So I'm gonna do a skinny oval shape here and a skinny oval shape here. And then I'm gonna add some circles in there. When you look at someone's eyes, you're gonna notice there's a colored part, and then on the inside, there's a black dot. So this is actually called, the colored part is called the iris, and then the black dot is called the pupil. That's kind of cool. Cool things to know about the eyes. I'm gonna add some eyelashes. You don't have to add eyelashes. And then I'm gonna do a nose. So I'm gonna flip over my paper. I'm gonna show you a couple options for noses. Sometimes students like to do noses like this, like kind of like a letter J. Sometimes students like to do noses like this. Sometimes they like to get real fancy and it kind of curves out, comes back, okay? Sometimes students like to just do like a little line like this. Any of those things would work for your nose. I'm gonna do like a letter J type thing. That. And for my mouth, I'm gonna show you a couple options again, okay? So sometimes we just like to do a smile, or maybe it's not a good day and you have a frown, okay? Or maybe you wanna put some lips on there. So you could start with a smile and then you could add some lips like this. Sometimes my students like to do that. You could just do lips, so maybe you want to do kind of like two bumps, or like I like to call it a stretched out letter M, and then like this. A couple different ways to make some mouths. So today I think I'm going to go with the smile and some lips. Cool. So my person's starting to get a really good face here, but I need some ears. So when I do my ears, I like to do the letter C. So check it out. I'm gonna start on the face, and I'm gonna do letter C, and then I'm gonna do one on the other side, a backwards letter C. All right. Now, my person doesn't have any hair right now, and I'm gonna add some hair. So let's talk about different kinds of hair. I'm gonna flip over my paper again, and I'm gonna add some heads right here so that you can see. There's a couple different options that we could do for hair. We could do like curly lines like this, like little scribbly lines. That would be cool. We could do some like shorter hair. So almost like shorter spiky hair. We could do long hair. You could have bangs. So you need to think about what kind of hair you might want to have on your person. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna do some bangs. So I'm gonna do bangs here. And I think I'm gonna make the hair kind of go down like this. Okay, so I'm gonna add some lines. All right. Now I could add some cool, maybe I want to add some details on my shirt. So I'm going to add, this is a pattern, guys. This is called stripes. And maybe some, oh, I know. We should add maybe some shoelaces. Loop, loop. Awesome. Check out my person. I would love to see if you could give drawing a person a try today. Any kind of person that you want. Maybe it's yourself. Maybe you try to make it look like someone you know. And I want you to give it a try. I'm going to color mine in, and then I'm going to come back to you, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the background. Welcome back. Hopefully you gave drawing your person a try and you had some fun with adding details and some color. You can see I colored my person in, and right now what I want to do is talk to you about a background. So I always like to ask my students, where is your person standing? That's what I think about when I think about the background. So your person could maybe be standing, maybe they're standing on the moon, or maybe they're standing outside in nature, or maybe they're standing on a bridge over some water, or maybe they're standing outside of your house. So the background is what's going on all around your person, or your main thing of your artwork. Okay, so it's the stuff around. So when you look at your paper, I'm gonna flip you around here. So when you look at your paper, I want you to notice that there's all this white all the way around, okay? And I can almost fit my whole hand in some of these spots all the way around my paper. So we want to think about what is going to happen around our person. We can give them a background. And here's one trick I like to do. Just gonna move my paper a little. One trick I like to do to make it look like my person is standing on the ground. So I'm going to draw a line that goes from one edge of my paper, and it's going to be a line that starts and stops. So I'm going to start my line at the edge of my paper, and I'm going to stop it once I get to my person's legs or maybe their feet. And then I'm going to continue my line and stop and continue my line until I get to the other side. So now you're going to see that there's a bottom part of my paper and the top. And so this part is going to be for the ground. And this part up here is going to be for the sky, or maybe there's a tree, or maybe there's a house back there. So I'm gonna just kind of add a couple details on mine, but I want you to think about what kinds of things you could have in your background, or maybe you can come up with something really great to have in your background. So I'm gonna color in my background, and then I will come back to you when I'm done. So here is my completed artwork. You can see that I added some things growing, like some flowers and maybe some clouds or the sun, or whatever cool things you think would be going on in your background, you could try. Sometimes some people just color the whole background one color. So today what I want you to do is I want you to give drawing a person with a background a try. And if you can try to upload your picture so that I can see it, or maybe you can tell me a little bit about what you drew, that'd be great.